I wanted to tell you that the forecast is for an increase in tariffs against those nations that have chosen to contribute to Greenland's security. In my view, this is a mistake, and I obviously do not agree with it. What I do share is the attention that the American presidency assigns, as I have told you many times, to Greenland and more broadly to the Arctic, which is a strategic area where excessive interference must clearly be avoided by actors who may be hostile. But I believe that, in this sense, the intention of some European countries to send troops and to participate in greater security should not be read as an initiative directed against the United States, but rather against other actors. Clearly, it seems to me that there has been a problem of understanding and communication on this point. As far as I am concerned, I continue to insist on the role of NATO. NATO is the place where we must try to organize together. Deterrence tools against interference that could be hostile in a territory that is clearly strategic. And I believe that the fact that NATO has begun to work on this is a good initiative, and all the more so because NATO has started doing this work. I believe it is a mistake today to impose new sanctions. I think instead that it is necessary to resume dialogue on this, avoid an escalation from this point of view, and that is what I am working on. I spoke with Donald Trump a few hours ago, to whom I said what I think, and I spoke with the NATO Secretary General, who confirms the work that NATO is beginning to do from this point of view. Clearly, over the course of the day, I will also speak with European leaders. I believe a meeting has been convened, for now, at the level of Coreper of the European Union, but I think that at this stage, it is very important to talk, and that it is very important to avoid an escalation, because we can work together to achieve an objective that is useful and necessary for everyone.
Madam President, what did Donald Trump say when he spoke to you? Did he express his views?
Look, I have already said what I said. I believe that the message coming from Europe was not clear. This is the perception I had, that the reason, which from my point of view was positive, for the initiatives that were being carried out was not clear. That is why I'm saying that, in my view, there is also a problem of, I can say, interpretation of what was being done. So I believe that in this sense, the clarity that in these hours, if you have seen, for example, the president of Finland, Alexander Stubb, some leaders are providing, can be useful from this point of view.
Because Trump is making strong statements.
I have answered you. I have answered you. After that, I do not think I can give you a stenographic account of what one of my counterparts says. He found it receptive.
During the phone call?
And it seems to me that he was interested in listening, but it seems to me that, from the American point of view, the message that came from this side of the Atlantic was not clear, and that, in short, the risk is that the initiatives of some European countries were read in an, I can say, anti-American light, whereas that was not the intention. Clearly, the actors that concern everyone are others, but this message seemed to me not to be clear at all.
If I may, since you said you will speak over the next few hours, do you think that also in light of Trump's position, who even wants to increase bilateral presence in Greenland, or at least give a signal in this sense, and in that case, could Italy, given that the picture seems to have changed in the face of American threats, participate as a sign of unity with Europeans?
But look, I have already answered you. I do not think the issue here is to create an escalation. I think it is rather to try to engage in dialogue. And if my interpretation is correct, that on the American side there is concern about excessive interference in a strategic area, and on the European side there is a willingness to help address this problem, which is also ours. The right path is not, let's say, to argue among ourselves, but to work together to respond to a concern that involves all of us. So I think that it is premature to talk about it now because I am working to, on my part, lower tensions and return to dialogue.